maybe not relevant
Hysterics.
right now.
The goal for TT is not to bring in world beaters and become first place. The goal is to bring in solid players that let you pick up some wins. So I think we keep the hopes and expectations small even with lineup changes, but we're already into picks and bans, already having a lot of mid laners banned out, so TT paying respect to Angel. Thank God, no more Corki. You guys will not hear me complain at least for the next 20-some minutes. Twisted Fate also off the board, so not wanting Angel to find that impact on the map. Yes, 20 minutes.
Okay, all right. Well, we know Lyric's prediction for game number 1, but in which way he won't tell you. I like the bans coming through. We've got a very targeted ban towards Southwind. Again, the focus of TT has been Puff and Southwind's bottom lane. As first pick, Caitlyn. Caitlyn doesn't find her way through very often, but Juan Fong going to be none the happier for this game 1.
Yeah, and we saw it come through earlier in the day. TT, interestingly enough, taking away the Lux. I'm interested to see what they pair it with in the bot lane. I've heard some people talk about, pairing it alongside something like a Jhin, but we've pretty much only exclusively seen it paired with the Caitlyn here in the LPL.
Yep.
You already hit on the strength of Caitlyn. We saw what Elk was able to do with this champion earlier in the day. And alongside it, with TT just outright blind picking such a squishy, fragile support, TT maybe just indexing into this hook champion, throw out the Q, follow up with the trap, try and find these easy kills on what will be a very killable bot lane.
The Shy getting a Gwen here on the top side, so the blind comes out, and Lyric, I was going to ask you, with the Lux, does that mitigate the Caitlyn bottom lane at all? Does it change the direction that Puff and Southwind can play? Can you beat it if you get the right AD?
I think it definitely changes the direction just because it means that you don't necessarily just be able to perma push in bot. We could see, Lux actually throwing out skill shots, contesting this, chunking them low, and the Caitlyn lane becomes more of a kill lane, right? You're hoping that Nautilus is able to hit that Q so you can combo into the trap and look to take these 2v2s. So very interesting to come out from them. TT actually following up with the Aphelios. So Puff wanting to keep it standard on comfort. We've already hit on this. Not only is this meta, this was Puff's go-to champion for a lot of those IG days. And now we get to see some target bans at good old SOFM.
You guys might have missed that one. The Jungle Zed definitely came out at SOFM with a bit of a smirk. So a couple jungle bans here from TT. Remembering that Lee Sin is another one of the along the lines of standard, but also comfort for him. So let's see if TT just optimize into taking away SOFM once more.
Yeah, for TT, I wonder... Actually, Jarvan already banned out. I was just going to suggest maybe that could be your pick with the amount of immobile champions coming out on the opposite side. But a fair amount of jungle bans already out the window.
No.
Like you highlighted, only things like the Lee Sin really being left open unless SOFM wants to dig deep into something a bit more niche. Viego as well being open, but it's not something we've seen him play. I believe we saw SOFM play Kha'Zix in summer, if I'm not wrong.
I mean, he's pulled it out. Remember, SOFM pulled out Teleport Cade last year. And that's what's sad about the teleport changes, that we don't get to see him TP to bot lane ward at level 5. Unsurprisingly, and absolutely class out. It's a shame, Lyric, and a little bit sad, but I'll get on with the bans quickly as we run on through. LeBlanc, the final one. We get the Graves to match up in the Gwen on the top side. Lyric, 15 seconds. You got to quickly tell me what rounds out this comp.
I'm just going to stick with the Lee Sin because off the top of my head, it's the only thing I can think of. And hey, we're talking about things like Lee Sin. An aggressive mid-jungle 2v2 could be the way to go about it. Of course, TT will be able to get the counter pick in mid lane to try and round that one out a little bit better. But for the side of Weibo, so far you can see what...
Oh my God,
you are an absolute prophet!
Oh my God, I'm a sage. I'm a sage of 6 paths. I don't know how I did it, Lyric, but we got a Kha'Zix.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from this pick. I've not seen a Kha'Zix in a while. Kha'Zix, of course, an assassin, always known as more of a scaling champion who's going to have that impact later on, help you catch out people in sides. And yeah, Weibo have made a bit of a interesting composition. Man, SOFM always showing his personality. Your The Rock quote now is on point.
Oh, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, if you missed it, it needs to be read out one more time. Because the single most powerful thing that you can be is to be yourself. And as Dwayne said that, he must have been looking at game 1, seeing the Kha'Zix, seeing the Lux, seeing the Galio. By the way, TT may have watched that cinematic from 2021. Lux versus Galio, but on the same side. A lot of big, colossal units coming through. Lyric, whose comp do you want to start with first? Because actually, No, I'm not even going to let you choose. Tell me what Weibo Gaming do.
Yeah, for Weibo, I mean, I still think it's a lot oriented around the bottom lane, just from the fact that you do have the Caitlyn. We already set up the interaction of trying to find that kill pressure coming in with the Caitlyn Nautilus combo. You will be able to win out in trades in terms of mid lane, trying to move first, but still Gallia will just be able to ignore you, try and move with his ultimate. So I think a lot of what Weibo are going to try to do is you're letting this Kha'Zix farm up early, because again, Kha'Zix typically doesn't find a big impact in the early game. Try and get to your evolutions, make your way around the map with the Syndra, heading towards the bot lane most likely, and then playing to break those turrets down. For the side of TT, I think it is very similar, at least in terms of general goal. It should be mid-jungle to bot. They will have earlier windows to do so, though, from having the Xin Zhao up against the Kha'Zix, and from the fact that, sure, Gallia will get abused early on, but once you hit that level 6, it will be very easy to impact and try and cover this very squishy bot lane.
Well, I'm excited for it because with mid 2v2s, with focusing on the bottom lane, I wonder who can get there first. The Kha'Zix versus the Xin Zhao. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into game 1 where Weibo Gaming have surprised us. It's given us a Kha'Zix and of course it's SOFM. Now, Lyric, the real question is, do we see the Kha'Zix that we saw last year? The one that was a bruiser with the gore drinker, with a potential, what the heck, Nautilus really just wigging out. Or is it going to be, okay, full assassin then?
I think we'll see first strike like we're seeing on most assassins in the jungle right now would be my guess. And then yeah, opting into full lethality, something like like Duskblade coming out and moving to that. So we do have first strike coming out. So you know that bonus true damage later on, and the amount of gold you can get in the mid and late game with the damage you're putting out is going to be quite nice for him. I think this does signal he's probably going to index into that build, but with SOFM, you really never know until he starts building some items.
You don't. Again, that's why I mentioned Warmogs, because why not, honestly? New's going to get a nice surprise, and it's sewing class. As he walks on through, the Shy's about to get an extra bit of damage and range. New gets snipped, and no one's there to help New as Eon, not too sure of a cooldown as we're not clicking on the character portrait, but the Shy starts off lane against the half HP Graves with Flick.
Yeah, so the Shy finding a really nice trade at level 1, did opt into Lethal Tempo. Lethal Tempo, we've hit on a few times, is a lot more of a laning indexed rune from, you know, the attack speed. I think it's 6% off the top of my head, stacking up 6 times and then trying to build into that bonus range so you get, not get kited out by the Graves and trade with it evenly. Angel, we can see playing this matchup really well. You have pressure at level 1, playing ranged into melee, and you'll pretty much be able to abuse Captain at all points in time, even opting into the Airy.
Speaking of abuse, good trades here from Wanfong and On, as On gets the dredge line, and you did talk about landing the hook in this lane. Huge as Southwind just walks into Fog of War. And another trade comes his way. Wanfong setting over the Pilt over Peacemaker as the light binding that connects, but TT are backing off, knowing they've lost the level 2, and the lane state continues to be a push-in with Weibo Gaming in favor.
I also want to highlight what we saw as the Shy just trading so aggressively.
It's a Lethal Tempo.
I don't know if I get to highlight anything.
Yeah, you might not. Lyric, early phase. You got about 5 seconds. Go ahead.
I was going to say, for SOFM didn't go into Ultimate Hunter, which is typically what you see on Kha'Zix. He went for Ingenious Hunter. No, not Ingenious Hunter, I'm sorry. Relentless Hunter. So a lot more about the movement speed and trying to make his way around the map. Okay. I think that might bite him a little bit early on when Kha'Zix is a champion who does find so much agency out of, you know, getting the invisibility from his ult and looking for those picks, looking for that access to the backline from flanks.
I want to see as he gets 6 as well, you know, if he's able to pick up some of those early stacks, and it's definitely going to be worthwhile. You did talk about the first strike here on the jungler, and we've been seeing it a lot in Assassin junglers, Lyric. Any further insight, you big brain of a human being?
I think it works, right? Especially on a champion like this. And a lot of the Assassin junglers, when you think about where when you're going up against the Lee Sins, the Xin Zhaos, the Jarvans, you aren't necessarily looking for these early duels and maybe the damage that would come out of something like an Electrocute or a Dark Harvest. I think getting this rune, and in my mind, a lot of people talk about first strike with laning phase and getting gold. In laning phase with first strike, even when taken on mid laners, you actually aren't getting too much passive gold because sure, you get the 5 gold, but a lot of it comes from the bonus true damage, which also turns into gold. So it's a lot more of like a mid-game rune in my mind where you are getting benefit out of that. So for a champion like Kha'Zix, I think it makes, you know, a lot of sense.
Well, haven't seen him interact so far, but SOFM down towards the bottom side of the map. Frigid was able to get it back in here. And Jungle v Jungle is going to be interesting considering we talked about Frigid being a new player. And this jungler of TT, you know, has a lot of weight on his shoulders and has been looking to focus around that bottom lane. Lyric, there's a lot of talking points in this game, but the one I want to make my way to first is that we talked a lot about the Shy, a lot about Huanfeng in our opening segment. And for good reason, you know, that they are opening this laning phase quite well, as the Shy on top of New once again continues to be a success story. New has to back away, and you can see where the waves
but look at bot hysterics.
Okay, well, Frigid again, attacking the strength of TT. Another point we were talking about is Southwind wants the light binding. He flashes forward, Huanfeng dodges away, but Wind becomes lightning shield of Duran. It's first blood over to Southwind, and under the turret, On has to burn his summoner as well. TT again, showing that they want that bot to succeed.
TT using a nice window, right? We saw earlier Angel push wave into turret, bouncing back. We see Frigid hover towards the mid lane, allowing Captain to get that push, because for Captain, he's a setup for Frigid. Angel does have to respect that, making their way down towards bot and setting up these plays. I think On should be fine.
Yep.
But yeah, great window coming out from TT. We hit on how both teams probably wanting to focus spot. TT, like we said, should have the windows earlier on because of the mid-jungle duo that they did opt into, and they're already using that to a T. So nice move made by TT. And even though, right, we've been very harsh on TT, and it's because they're winless, and again, their games has not been spectacular, there have been moments, especially in the early game, where they are able to find some of these kills.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, can you transition that into objectives? Can you transition that into a meaningful lead into the mid game, where the enemy has bad options of, okay, do I fight them and lose, or do I give them Dragon? What do I do?
Because I think mid-game is one of the hardest pieces of League of Legends, right? That transition from whether you have a lead and what to do with it, as you were saying. So it shows the difference between some of these top-tier teams and teams that are still struggling to find a strong identity. This guy actually has level 6 on top of New. He wants to use it, but Frigid's here. Can he 1v2? Needlework number 1. The flash forward. Needlework number 2. Can he get 3? He heals up a little bit more.
He gets away.
Snips out. He survives, Lyric, but New and Frigid, they're not the only ones up here. Shield of Duran. Big Hulk smash.
Predator bringing so much value. Captain finding an opportunity on the opposite side, though. SOFM at least threatening bot. Potentially can try and zone them off some of the CS. At the very least, Weibo toying with the idea of looking for this play still now that Angel's here. Oh, they're going to go for it.
Okay, here comes the dive, the Dredge Line, the setup as well. And yeah, the play's kind of over for now, but On actually going to get traded away with the Ignite down as well. Southwind picks it up, and Huanfeng, SOFM, and Angel, the party's an easy cleanup. And SOFM picks up his first kill of this series. Huanfeng going to get turret plating as well, Lyric, so this play evolves even further.
Typically, this would be the situation where you're like, okay, Weibo put resource in the bot, and since TT got a kill because of that, it's kind of even, but they lost so much in terms of minions. I think it actually is a pretty good trade for the side of Weibo, especially when it comes to third play. We see On going in with that hook. I mean, Angel already had the ult. I think he had some orbs down in the brush as well. On knows his fate. He got ignited. He is doomed. And they decide to give this kill over to Mr. Actually, that wasn't a decision. They looked like they were competing for that kill.
Yeah, they were. That's the style of a Weibo game against this one, honestly. But TT come back out for the reset. Dragon number 1's going to be taken here with Ocean. As Frigid comes back down with lane of choice. I just note that this game, not at an even point. Weibo Gaming 700 gold in the lead. And you're right, Lyric, good observation that the top play cost them quite a bit. Where Weibo were able to deny minions in the bottom side. We did get a kill onto the Jinx, so 5 CS up. And this is a massive wave crushing in. So the fact that Huanfeng is still up on CS, despite getting pushed under turret, is a very big deal.
I also want to highlight, right, that right in League, every action has an equal reaction. We've seen, sure, Captain's been moving around the map so much, but look at the CS differential in mid lane. Angel has just been completely like opening up this mid lane, dominating Captain like we knew he would. Captain knows he's not going to win the trade, so it's one of the reasons why he is opting into moving more and just accepting that he's going to lose in CS. But I remember before the split, when me and you were talking about TT, that was one of the things we highlighted from the Demacia Cup, was the fact that Captain tries to enable his teammates so much to a detriment of himself, he can typically fall behind very easily. He's only about 200 to 300 gold behind right now because of those kills he was a part of, but we'll see if Angel can snowball this into more.
He's literally, you know, the captain of the ship who tries to plug up the leaking holes. There's a couple of them, and he uses both his wooden legs and his hook. And then suddenly he can't walk himself. So for Captain right now, he's 30 CS down.
Wait.
One of my best analogies,
Wait,
honestly.
I have a question. Yeah, I was going to say, so can you tell me the story of where he got these wooden legs and hooks from?
Well, obviously they've
Are
fallen
you that,
off.
are you that prepared?
If you're coming through on, you know, IG Young, as you would, the IG organization, you're going to lose a couple of legs on the way. We know people like the Shy Rookie lost their legs, and maybe even Southwood would too. He was also on IG. The Ignite actually goes on down. Puff pulls the ulti right through the goalpost. And Lyric, it's because he tries to fill in the gaps and tries his hardest. Captain goes down with the ship for that reason.
We have not seen a great day of Aphelios ultimates, if I do say
That
so
is
myself.
LPL. It happens quite a lot.
of them.
Real.
Ooh, but look at that damage hitting Hysterics.
Thanks a lot. Predator use mid though, Lyric. A lot's actually happening on the map. I'm going to direct course like a good captain would. You talked about the CS difference in the mid lane. It's massive from Angel. We've seen great trading through there, but look at top. Look at jungle, being even. Look at bottom lane. Every lane right now has a CS advantage. There's a 1k gold lead for Weibo Gaming at the 10-minute mark. And so it's not only the Galio that's suffering. I feel like we're going to get first items pretty soon. In fact, Umbral Glaive for SOFM. Love the itemization and making sure that no wards are going to be getting past this site.
Just very cheap item, right? Very easy to get like a small power spike off of your first back, especially when we think that Rift Herald is still up, which is crazy. We're 10 minutes into the game, and Rift Herald is still on the board. Neither team rotating over at the 8-minute mark. Now, though, both teams rotating over except their AD carries. Huanfeng will be able to push bot first if he wants to make the rotation and try and get there first, or if he just wants to commit to the 1v1 in bot side. We're going to find out. I think Weibo should be able to just get this scot-free, no problem. You talked about the advantages in both, pretty much in all their lanes, actually.
Yep.
And the Shy will have Prio in top side, will be able to start making his way down. And Huanfeng right now looks like he's going to move to take Krugs. This is important not only because of that, but it means he's not showing in lane, right? So for the side of Weibo Gaming, they need to respect the fact that Huanfeng can be anywhere.
And they're trying to flank
TT's already moving towards bot.
Yeah, they're thinking, okay, Huanfeng must be here, but On is the one instead. Frigid's there, they get binding down, and this Nautilus lane tanky at this point in the game gets targeted. And selection's perfect. Frigid picks up the kill, and Huanfeng now backs away just in the nick of time. But Frigid moving down to this lane opens up TT to get some kind of response to this Herald.
Weibo does have time to answer, though. We see right now SOFM and Angel on our screen.
Okay.
If they are going to stack bot to try and get place, they would be able to move over. Looks like they're not going to opt into that. Angel going to first go back to clear out mid. He still does have TP up. He could always TP the turret.
Walking in.
Do look for an
oh
aggressive
no,
play.
he's isolated as well. It doesn't matter. That's an Umbral Glaive Kha'Zix. Easy as you like, but he's close. He's not going to flash for it. Runs away and pays the respect. And Frigid lucky to have his life.
Yeah, nice move by SOFM, right? Because he's at least going to buy space off of the map. And now Weibo wanting to recommit now that On's here.
If they can find him, no. In the end, Frigid backs away. The Herald gets dropped on down. Lyric, there's so much I want to talk about in this game, but we don't have time because it's play after play. It's map movement after map movement. In Weibo Gaming, they're going to get so much gold off this. They're going to skyrocket ahead by about 1,500 gold. First turret blood solid at Huanfeng with gold plating shared. Caitlyn is going to one-shot. In front of this next dragon, I feel like Weibo Gaming just have themselves a free objective.
Weibo doing a nice job so far, right? This game not really being determined by the movements on the map so far, how these compositions interact. It's really just being determined by the laning phases coming out from the side of Weibo. We knew to expect that Angel would win in mid lane. We talked about the kill pressure able to come out from bot that would make Puff and Southwind have to play cautiously, have to play back, the chance of that hook coming out. And so far, Weibo doing a nice job of turning that into a 1.5k gold lead. Also want to highlight the Shy, first buying the Oblivion Orb. The amount of sustain coming from new, especially Frigid as well, since we saw Frigid put an early gank up to that top side. Maybe the Shy being a little bit weary about being camped, as I'm sure he has PTSD from all the times in his career teams adjusted to playing against the Shy and being like, hey, we're just going to hard camp this top laner. Yeah,
it's a classic, the Shy. Make sure he doesn't get off the ground. Dragon's being done here while we're having this chat, and just note that SOFM comes in. He may not get the dragon, but he steals away the crow with the smite to 110 gold to him. So 2 dragons for TT with the Mountain Soul spawning up. And Weibo Gaming looks like they accepted this and sent the Caitlyn to the top lane to trade for gold. And I want to ask you, while nothing's going on the map, while we've just seen that objective trade, refresh me on compositions, because we haven't had time in the early game to talk about it. You did talk a lot about this Galio and his influence towards the bottom lane. Now that we're trading lanes and moving out of standard pathing, what do you want to see from both these teams, and what's kind of the expectation with the game pace that it's playing out right now?
For Weibo, I would expect to see them start aggressively looking for picks now that a lot of these outer turrets are going to drop down right. For now, it is going to be just about Angel keeping control of mid, which he just does naturally by default of playing Syndra into Galio. You're going to lean up with Nautilus Cosmic towards top side, allow Huanfeng to free hit on this top lane tower, rinse and repeat. Do that once you are able to go in mid, and then after that is when we're going to see picks coming out with Angel on an SOFM walking around as a unit. For the side of TT, though, I think it does become a bit harder with the fact that you don't have priority anywhere on the map. Like, no matter what win conditions or options you have, you will just be left reacting to whatever Weibo are going to do.
And as we know, Galio's defensive maneuver is great for reactive play, but you talk about TT not having priority, not having an advantage in this game. There's not too much damage coming out at this point. First items are coming through, but look at this guy in the mid lane. Captain at 121 CS. Lucky to have any at this point.
Look at his items.
And yeah, he doesn't have anything. Tenacity, Kindle Gem, and a Lost Chapter. Excuse me, a fiendish note. It is Lost Chapter. Never doubt yourself, kids.
Is
it? No, it's not.
Wait, no, it's an amplifying tome.
Amplifying tome. Okay, do doubt yourself, children. Forget me. And so, no damage is the point I was trying to make 10 years later as the scat of the week comes through. Frigid actually going to be on his tail too. On is behind him, but the dive, no further. Southwind there. Final spark is not final for Angel. Wait, this is solid.
Oh, wait,
I see
shy.
it. Need to work. It's coming through. There's the defensive maneuver we talked about. That brings Captain to the bottom lane, but pings are going through mid. And even the top side, you've committed mid for this lyric. What do you lose?
Oh, you lose it. You lose everything, right? Because that's what I wanted to highlight for TT is wait, Captain wants this.
Well, the Shy
wants the 1v2.
Yeah, he's gonna get a dark descent.
Well, like you said, look at top and mid right now because TT opted into making that play mid. Frigid, you need to back off, buddy. You cannot fight SOFM. But even ignoring the spot play, right? When TT opted into this play mid, it means you are giving up pressure top. So you are just conceding, hey, we cannot hold up against Huanfeng. He's going to get this turret while still having time to take this tier 2 tower because of the play you just made in the bottom lane as well. So TT, they started falling so far behind in terms of lane pressure, they kind of realized, hey, we don't really know how to break up the map any other way because there's no pressure point. There's no one lane you could play through. To make a pressure point, you need to dedicate resources from elsewhere into finding this. So TT did lose quite a bit for that one, and the gold lead only continuing to snowball for the side of Weibo. The only silver lining for TT, right, is the fact that they have 2 Drakes, but I don't think they're favored in a position when it comes to the next Drake coming up.
Well, especially not that Huanfeng just got solo turret gold in a tier 2 in the top side. 600 back into the bank, and, he's gaining interest on that loan as well. No, hang on, Lyric, let's try that again. He's gaining interest on his saving, because it's not a loan. He doesn't have to pay anyone back. Huanfeng is a collector now. And in front of the Dragon, again, one-shot territory. You already talked about Angel SOFM. Using the range from this Caitlyn is going to be just as deadly. And it is a good sign here from Weibo Gaming in this early game, how much control they've taken over. Because we talked about TT moving into the mid-game, how this is the part they struggle. And it feels like Weibo Gaming from early to now have been able to take full advantage and exploit TT's weakness.
And Weibo are just going to be able to keep going. I do think if we ever get to a point of 5v5s, which I don't think Weibo should necessarily try to set up, it will be a bit better for the side of TT because they do have things like the Galio that can just look for the engage, Jins out, following up with the Galio ultimate and all of these tools. But for Weibo, right, you have an assassin, so it is a lot more about either playing off flanks or playing off angles where people are trying to run from the fight after you burst them out with Huanfeng or Angel. So, again, that's why we've hit on either more pick-centric or more setup-centric, right? If you can get on objectives first, get Caitlyn traps down, get some of the orbs from Syndra to threaten the scout of the week, then they can't walk in as Frigid goes in.
First. Yeah, Frigid's actually in the river first, so you can see SOFM backs away, even with the gold advantage. Looking a little bit more even than we could expect. They almost stopped the push, but it's SOFM who gets it. Frigid, he gets scattered. He's now weak. SOFM sitting without an ulti, but still a flash. Southwind zoning out here. Final Spark is available soon, and I think Lyric on this Dragon, this is where TT are going to try and make a stand.
Yeah, the Shy, though, is TPing in right now. Captain going to answer wave, but does have ultimate. I think we're keeping our eyes on Captain and Frigid for the side of TT. Can get on a priority target, lock someone down.
Gonna be big. Dredgeline doesn't connect here. The Final Spark goes golden, and On survives for a little bit longer. In fact, gets out with barely any damage. A lot used by TT's Weibo Gaming now in front of the Dragon at 2K. The depth charge in the backline on top of Southwind. The Shy zoning in, that's with them. Who picks up the first Dragon of this game as the Shy has a straight line of needlework. Sowing class came early, and Frigid doesn't want to be here. He didn't pay the tuition. The Shy forward once again on top for Frigid, and Weibo Gaming star player, or at least one of them, is hitting hard. Blocked away by Southwind, lucky to be alive. And blinking health bars, Lyric. I see one Fong on the back line. I see a sniper in the making as New goes in. There's only one way out of this mess as Gale falls forward, but has to cleanse away. One Fong with the range, and Messi is as Messi does. Not too much matter on Odd Lyric. They're on the wrong side of the map. SOFM's not even here. Stretchline comes in, flashing away. Another hook comes through. The Shy gets out. No one's dead. LPL is the best league. Prove me wrong. As Odd locks him down, Southwind finally dies. SOFM now here with the Void Spikes. I think he went to get level 11 as Puff is one hit away. Secured by one Fong. Captain's late. Finally, Weibo Gaming clean up. Quadra kill after this long fight. Hit New. Pilt over Peacemaker. Quadra kill about to turn in an elongated penta. Frigid's running for his life. We've been waiting a while for this one, guys. Chat's been patient for this as SOFM slows his down. One Fong, 90 caliber net forward. You can do it! Frigid's running away though, and Southwind's back alive. It's tied down. Frigid acting as cold as ice.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna go down in the end. We all know this, but man, that fight, I think that fight took 2 minutes, maybe over. Like we saw SOFM going and picking up the blue buff, maybe right level 11. I can't wait for the replay to find all this out. Because of how long it took, though, it doesn't actually turn into anything on the map. It does turn into an even bigger gold lead as Weibo Gaming are sitting 6k gold up now, and they're going to start being in a position where they can start threatening things like the Baron. We're going to see in the replay, though, on trying to find it, flashes are forced, realizes he has to get out of there. This was the time when SOFM did go and do that blue buff. Again, I'm wondering if he did it to hit level 11 like you said, or if it is just SOFM being SOFM. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I do not know. Too focused on this standoff. I mean, we all knew TT were going to lose this fight. They were too far behind. Weibo having the range to play off like we hit on as well, it gives them more opportunities because they can walk forward and look for things like the Scout of the Week or look for things like the Q coming out from Hwanfeng and find those kills. For TT, they need to be in a lot closer range, and at those health bars, you just don't have the confidence to do that.
That just went on for so long, Lyric. I was waiting in a state of pause champ for a minute 50. And for Weibo Gaming, I come out of it and I look, wow, okay, they're so far ahead now, it's insane. 7,000 gold after that massive fight, a quadra kill we just saw, 3 items now with the Infinity Edge complete by Hwanfeng, and Weibo Gaming had this game under their wing, but just cleaning out some vision, threatening the Baron, Lyric. It feels like now they're going to be looking for those picks we talked about, those picks that should come easier.
Oh, definitely, right? Now they can start trying to brute force their way in. They already have the Shy trying to pull pressure down towards the bottom half of the map and pushing that in. He will have a window where he can start making his way over towards his top side if he wants. Let the other members push in mid, lean into top like SOFM's trying to do now and find this vision. Hwanfeng, though, instead of doing all of that, is going to want to get his red buff, and the Shy staying bot. So we're not going to see that.
Dude, he has a bounty.
I'd say
what?
He does.
The Shy, he's 0-2 and 0, but because he's got
211 CS.
He's a big boy. And you can see the bounty across now 3 members in total of Weibo Gaming as sieging starts. Angel's been playing this game really well.
Oh, TP from Captain.
Okay, so the ultimate not going to work from Puff. Captain coming in for the flank. The Predator activated onto Hwanfeng. He flashes away. The Final Spark helping out, but is there enough damage? Everfrost locks him in place. Hwanfeng doesn't need help because now Galio's 2 shots away. Too much damage, and this is why Captain's so far behind. He can't do anything while the Shy's frontlining, and Angel is just blasting away orbs. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Now, overall, Weibo went out on the play. I think they're just too far ahead in terms of itemization. Like you said, no one able to follow up Captain there. I think that could have been circumvented had we seen after the Shy pushed in bot, instead of just pinging out around, bot lane Stridebrush. He did start roaming over towards mid, even if he doesn't show, and then you start working your way up to get that vision. We're going to see here that is not what happened. TT just trying to find any play that is available to them, as they do pick up Baron on the bottom corner of our screen. Captain will come around. He has easy access onto the enemy AD carry. SOFM, though, making sure New can't get involved. And On just playing keep away so the other members can't follow through. Damage comes in onto Captain, and then SOFM joins the fight, gets these needles in there. An amazing flash ult coming out from Angel, and then we just see Huan Fong following through.
Trying to get Southwind here from Huan Fong. Folks, you might be looking at this game and being like, you know, it's an entertaining first game, and I agree with you. But look at who's delivering here, and look at who's making this interesting. Lyric, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ex-IG organization players. That's why we're getting these bloodbath fights, these risque moments. Captain Puff Southwind, guys, if you're wondering who I'm talking about on TT side. And the relevancy of this is, we talked about the individualistic nature of some of the Weibo gaming players there. I feel like Southwind's kind of been there, Puff as well. You know, Captain trying so hard to get Huan Fong, but didn't have enough damage. And it's a boat too far at this point in this game, number one. And I don't know, do you have anything for me to give me hope? If I was a TT fan, say like the Kelsey Moses of the chat, how do you look at hope?
I can't remember your analogy in that team fight, but it was something about like sewing school or something like that. And TT are at the point where let's say they're from Australia, right? They went to uni. Well, now they're left like 100 million in debt, having to pay off their student loans, and their only option is to like go marry some girl in America or Germany or something, leave Australia, not pay those loans, and forget that they ever existed.
Well, if you don't,
that is actually not life advice. Wait, I didn't clarify. That is not life advice for anyone out there.
That's not. Oh, bye, Frigid. Frigid's dead, Lyric. We'll pause that. We'll talk about that in a second, because you've probably got to still be a resident of Australia. Depends. Southwind on too. Watching Huan Fong here is like watching. What is perfect? It's not paint dry. That's the complete opposite of what I want to say. It's like watching skill at work. It's like watching. I'll pause on that, folks. Don't worry. Casting's a little bit hard. Apparently, I shouldn't be paid for my job. Captain, he's going to be the next target. But at this point, you knew Weibo Gaming had won this one cleanly. Huan Fong is massive. And TT, another game goes down to a brilliant start to the series from WBG.
Huan Fong is like Kate Winslet asking Leonardo DiCaprio to paint her like one of his French girls.
That's it.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go.
Same, dude.
That is the way to end that game. And when we talk about this game,